Greetings, kindred spirits, and welcome to all the new subscribers to this channel. Wow, the energies coming in are diverse and extraordinary this full moon. You know, there is definitely a big shift happening at the moment, and the schism between the energies of light and the dark is vast right now. It's almost like we have come to a point of it being all or nothing. Politically, socially, spiritually, and even intimately. Some may still be experiencing breakdowns of their appliances or services, since the energy coming in is highly electrical and highly charged. Also, watch out for your nervous systems and issues around the solar plexus and throat chakra. You know, this energy is very transformative and will be with us for a little while, pushing us out of our comfort zones and waking us up to the truth in all its forms, whether that be politically, socially or personally. So the full moon reaches its peak once again in Virgo this month in the true lifetime sky on the 19th of April at 12:12 in the GMT time zone, at 7:12 in the EDT time zone, and at 21:12 in the AEDT time zone. You know, we have 3 T-squares, which are very challenging. And these grand aspects are set to bring a lot of karmic patterns to a head, for better or worse, depending on your outlook and how you absorb information. But most of us will find this time quite challenging energetically, especially as the Black Moon Lilith is in an exact conjunction to Neptune in Aquarius, in which I will get into in a little while. But like they say, things happen for a reason and for a season. So we must hold on tight to our sense of compassion and empathy, but from a place of inner strength and unconditional love. Because the theme this full moon is all about power and control, especially when it comes to our relationships and our sense of duty. But it doesn't just stop there, because on a collective level, there will be a revealing or revealings when it comes to the scientific, political or computing industries. Although we must trust our instincts and know that not all will be revealed in its entirety, not right now. So we must keep our minds open and concentrate on our own well-being, because unless we are fully aware of the hidden motivations behind certain events, we will just end up stuck in confusion and fear rather than integrity and enlightenment. Our moon in Virgo will be in opposition to Uranus in Aries, as well as our sun. You know, the sun will be at 0 degrees, Uranus will be at 3 degrees, and our moon will be at 35 degrees, which will break down to the number 8 numerologically. So basically, our full moon will be in a karmic void that will be extremely active, and some events have already occurred this week on the build-up to this full moon, actually since the new moon began. You know, but as I said before, the build-up to the Saturn-Pluto conjunction in 2020 will be very, very revealing, although like I said, not all as yet will be revealed in its entirety. So keep your eyes open, but also concentrate on your own health, because I also feel that there is a lot of toxicity in the atmosphere, and if you are a sensitive, you will be more susceptible to it, especially for those of us that live in a city. The first T-squares with the moon in opposition to the sun and Uranus, and all 3 will be in square to Saturn, Pluto and the South Node, which are all in Sagittarius. Now the number 3 is very, very relevant this full moon. You know, I know we had some 333 portals in March. But this full moon, the 3 energy is very strong. So the energy is likely to feel very militant and berating for some, whilst for others this energy can be very innovative and self-empowering. Just as long as we are in a place of self-confidence and with a faith and trust in divine timing. Because this year is all about the completion of karmic cycles and old traditions and values that no longer serve us, both on a collective level as well as personally. It is also a time where some will break bonds with those that don't have their best interest at heart, and that's been going on for a little while now and will continue to do so for the next sort of maybe few months or so, but definitely leading up towards the end of this year. There may also be a sense of loss with these transits too, a loss of loved ones, or having to walk away from loved ones due to abusive or addictive behaviour. The new moon did warn us earlier this month about trying to help those that we are not equipped to help. And if we are still in that place, then it is likely that the deep-seated frustration, sadness or anger is likely to erupt this full moon. On top of that, we have the second T-square with Mars and the goddess Juno in opposition to Jupiter and the goddess Ceres, and all are in square to Neptune and the black moon Lilith, which further emphasises that emotions and frustrations will be running high. Especially when it comes to abandonment issues, neediness and power struggles, which can really take its toll on our health, self-esteem and ability to see things clearly. These energies coming in will be very testing and overwhelming, but only if we are too obsessed with our situations or are being overly critical either about ourselves or another, playing the blame game or berating ourselves for our past mistakes. We can't run from ourselves and we can't hide from the truth, not when it's smack bang in our face. What we can do is open up and speak our truth. And if we can't do that in a disciplined way verbally, then we can write it down or voice record it. And if we want to keep those thoughts or feelings private, then we can either burn it, delete it, or listen back to it at a later date once we are in a better frame of mind. And you will be surprised at what you can learn from doing that, as long as you can listen back to it with an open heart and mind. But it will be different for each and every one of us depending on where we're at on our life's path. Some may hear from someone or people from their past, either for closure or to reunite. Whatever the case is, this is a time of speaking our truth, as long as we are doing that from a place of balance and clarity. Remember, only fools rush in where angels fear to tread. The third T-square is the ongoing T-square I have been speaking about constantly since last June with the moon's nodes. The North Node has mostly stood alone, which has shown just how powerful and determined this particular node is. The North Node represents our destiny and what we need to fulfill in this lifetime before we leave the Earth plane. At present, the North Node is in opposition to, of course, the South Node, which is an aspect that never changes, but shows to us the vast division between destiny and karma. The South Node represents karma. So as well as being in opposition to the South Node, the North Node is also in opposition to Saturn and Pluto. And these two guys are serious dudes, as we are already seeing on a collective level as they come together in an exact conjunction. The moon's nodes, Saturn and Pluto, are all in square to the goddess Pallas. who in mythology is connected to the great Athena and represents the true strength of the feminine energy, but can be brutal and harsh with her judgments. Athena was responsible for the defiling of Medusa, cursing her to a life of pain and suffering, and turning her into the bitter witch that Medusa became. Most of you may already know this story, but for those of you that don't, then you can find it online. But what the goddess Pallas does represent in astrology is the hardcore truth, seeing the bigger picture with clarity, using integrity and fairness in judgment. Even Athena herself would have had to have had paid her karmic debt for persecuting the already unjustly persecuted. A very similar story morally when it comes to Pontius Pilate and Jesus, Yeshua. But no matter what was done or said in the past, this T-square doesn't ask us to live our lives in guilt and remorse. It asks for us to learn from our experiences and past mistakes, to accept and heal what was, and to move forward with the integrity and a greater insight that it provides. To forgive ourselves or those who may have trespassed against us. This particular T-square has been the leading authority when it comes to all the other aspects since last June. Dominating the wheel of life and revealing the darker side of life, the abuse of power, addictions, bad habits, repetitive mistakes and obsession. But it's not designed to break the already broken. It is designed to break and eliminate all that is unfair, unjust and soul-destroying. And at this point I would like to big up all the spiritual warriors out there that are spreading the light of love and truth. Because the energy that is being radiated through their love, compassion and concern for our Mother Earth is definitely working. This particular T-square is urging us to step into our self-power and work on our self-esteem, our health and righteousness in its true sense. Jupiter is now retrograding through Ophiuchus, which is also likely to bring up some big realizations around past injustices and abandonment issues, and also times when we have abused our own power. But it can also bring up hidden gifts or secrets from the past. Jupiter retrograding through Ophiuchus can also dig up ancient knowledge or truths on a collective global level. And I feel that this is especially so with the Black Moon Lilith in Aquarius. And Aquarius in the true lifetime sky rules the 13th house, the house of the hidden. But, and it's a big but, we must not allow our ego to overrule our common sense and trust that the divine is at work here and that whatever is revealed during this time is for the benefit of humanity and our Mother Earth at the end of the day. And it is what we have all been subconsciously yearning for and manifesting on a deep soul level. And now this change is finally being put into effect. So to move forward, we must use our power of discernment and continue to work on manifesting a better world for our future generations by staying focused on our own well-being and being an inspiration to those that are new to the awakening. So for this full moon and the next 2 weeks, I recommend deep breathing techniques and that, you get as much fresh air as possible, even hug a tree or two. Mantras, affirmations, chanting and prayer will be highly potent at this time. Drink plenty of water and meditate on all your chakra points, but pay special attention to the solar plexus and the throat chakra to keep your nervous energy to a minimum and be able to speak your truth with clarity and self-control. I also recommend that we burn a black candle and a white candle together to bring equality to both the light and dark energies. You know, the meditation that I'm recommending for this full moon is living on light transmission. And that's about expanding your capacity for absorbing prana. And that is by who else? Steve Nobel. You know, I haven't shared an affirmation for quite a while, but I felt that I needed to this full moon, and the one I'm sharing with you is actually one that I put together last year, and that affirmation is, I am conscious of all my actions and am mindful of my self-empowerment. I empower others to create good karma and use my own inner truth to inspire and encourage unconditional love and peace. I am blessed. I will include that in the description box below. Anyway, I'm off to do the horoscopes now, so sending you all peace and much love.